Begin in Shavasana, laying flat on your back. Take up some space. Let your feet fall open. Take a few breaths and just begin to settle in. Tuck your chin into your chest slightly, creating some length in your cervical spine. Find where you feel most supported, most at ease. We'll begin by just checking in with our body. Checking in by scanning through our body from our toes all the way up to the crown of our head. Just noticing how we feel, how our energetic body feels, how our physical body feels. How are you feeling emotionally today? Take a few rounds of deep breath and really notice. During today's class, our focus will be on feeling the pose from the inside out, feeling what each pose, each posture feels like. Not necessarily what it looks like or what it's supposed to look like in your mind, but how it feels in your body. So we'll begin the class by checking in with our bodies and seeing how we feel before we even start our practice. Notice if lying here, if you're still holding on to tension, even though you're fully supported here, nowhere to go. On each exhale, relax just a little more. Release just a little more stress. Anything that you're holding on to, anything that you're thinking about that may be after class, anything that happened today, and just put that on a shelf. Save it for later, another time, and find presence in right now. If you'd like to set an intention for today's class, now is a good time to do that. If you'd like to dedicate your practice or focus on some aspect of your energy, maybe some goal that you're working towards with your practice, maybe it's just to be present and to remain present from the beginning of class through the end. Your next inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Big stretch all the way from your toes to your fingertips. Last little release here. And walk your feet over to the left corner of your mat, crossing your right ankle over the left. And cactus your arms out, or bring your hands to lay on top of each other on the left top corner of your mat for banana asana. So you should be creating this kind of C shape or crescent shape, kind of like a banana, with the compression here on your left side and your opening on the right side of your body. If your elbow or your shoulder seems to come off the floor here, you don't need to have your hands touching. You can cactus the arms out so that your hands have a little bit of space between them and that elbow comes to the mat or to the floor. And breathe in here. Close your eyes. Find some stillness. Once you've made all your final adjustments, find your place in the pose. Begin to tune in. Closing our eyes deprives us of our visual sensory, so we're focusing more inward, what the pose feels like inside our body. Notice how it feels to have one side of your body compressed, one side opening. Notice where your breath goes. Nice, even breath here. Last breath, slowly unwind, uncrossing your ankles, coming back through center and just pausing in the middle for a moment. Take a round of breath here. And walk your ankles over to the right side of your mat. Now crossing the left ankle over the right, cactusing the arms out or bringing the arms up overhead to the right top corner of your mat. Reversing the pose now, compression in the right side, opening in the left. Keeping your eyes closed, notice your breath move through your body. Expanding your rib cage on that left side. Filling that space with breath. Last breath. Slowly unwind, coming back through center first, pausing here for a breath. And make your way to Sphinx pose, tummy to the mat. Legs out long behind you, top to your feet to the mat, elbows stuck underneath your shoulders, forearms pressed into the floor, fingertips spread nice and wide here. Pressing away from the floor, lifting away, bring your shoulder blades together, gaze comes between your hands. Try to find some length in your spine here, reaching the crown of your head towards the front of the room. Creating some space here. Opening your heart center, your collarbones, your chest towards the front of the room as well. Breathe into this space. Notice how the pose feels with your belly pressed against the mat. You can close your eyes here as well. Lots of support in this pose, so there's little risk of falling over or losing your balance here. So feel free to close your eyes and tune in. Notice if you're holding any tension anywhere in your body, anywhere it's not needed. You may want to begin to bring some shape to your breath here, matching your inhale with your exhale or lengthening your exhale. Whatever your body needs today, just check in, see what feels good. And if you'd like to bring your hands to the corners of your mat and press up for seal, you can do that now. If you get there and that feels like it's just a little too much, a little too intense for your back, your shoulders, go ahead and lower back down into Sphinx. Last breath here. As you exhale, slowly lower down into Sphinx. If you're already in Sphinx, lower all the way down. Bringing your left ear to the mat, hands come underneath the shoulders, press up and find tabletop. Knees come below the hips, wrists stack below the shoulders. Pull the navel into the spine, just slightly supporting our core here. You can tuck the toes here if you want, or tops of the feet to the mat. Spine nice and long, just find your alignment. Find your perfect place of where this pose feels right to you. Not what you think it should look like, but where it feels right to you. Crown of your head reaching towards the front of the room. On your next inhale, gaze comes up, belly drops, tailbone rises. Exhale, round the spine. Tuck the chin into the chest and tuck the tailbone. Inhale, tailbone rises. Drop the belly. Inhale or exhale, round the spine. Chin to chest. You can run through these at your own breath. Matching your movement to your breath here. Creating some movement, warming up our spine. Getting some energy flowing. You can keep your eyes closed here if you'd like as well. You work with circling the hips. You send the hips to the right. Bring the crown of your head pointed towards the left corner of your mat, countering that action there. And same with the left. Bring the crown of your head to the right. Just circle around. Find some movement here. Listening to our bodies, tuning in. How does this feel? Does it feel good to stretch out our spine, to create some movement? Maybe you had a lot of movement today. Maybe you've had very little. Maybe you want to take it back to a brief child's pose and come forward. Whatever feels right to you. 3 more breaths here. Come back into tabletop. And if you'd like to grab a blanket for some knee support or fold your mat over if needed, feel free to do that now. From tabletop, bring the right foot forward for dragon. Inhale, rise up, reaching towards the sky, little back bend here. Interlace the fingers and bring them behind the right knee. Little lunge forward, knee tracing over that middle toe. Slight back bend, shoulders down, shoulder blades together. You can tuck the back toes here if you'd like a little extra support if you're feeling wobbly today, or top of the foot to the mat's fine as well. You can play around with closing your eyes here. It does make the pose a little more challenging. Maybe that's something you're looking for today. Make sure your hips are squared towards the front of the room. a tendency to bring my left hip in. Just check in with your hips, your alignment. See if anything feels off. And just notice. If you do have your eyes closed and you're tuning in, maybe you pay attention to all those tiny little muscle movements that are working to keep you balanced here in this posture. Go ahead and bring your hands down to blocks or down to the inside of your right foot and deepen your lunge. Your next exhale, press back. Find that half split little counter to this dragon pose, toes pointed towards the front of the room. And come back through tabletop. Find your alignment and bring the left foot forward to meet the hands. Inhale, rise up, reaching towards the sky. Little back bend here. Interlace the fingers and place them behind the left knee. Check in with the alignment of your hips. Imagine there are two headlights on your hip bones pointing towards the front of the room. Shoulders down, shoulder blades together. Slight lunge forward, little back bend. Breathe here. Close your eyes if you'd like. Notice how this side might feel different than the other. Exhale, bring your hands to the inside of your left foot or to blocks and deepen your lunge. And breathe into it. Breathe into that stretch, that release in your hip flexor on the right side. Last breath here. Exhale, half split, toes pointing towards the front of the room, and back through tabletop. Bring your big toes together, knees distance of the mat. Send the hips all the way back, tailbone sinking towards the floor. Arms come out in front, reaching towards the front of the mat. Forehead comes to the mat or to a block. If you've got a little bit of space there between your forehead and the mat, feel free to use a block there to bring the floor closer to you. Tailbone sinking towards the earth, fingertips reaching. Creating that long line of energy all the way from your fingertips to the base of your spine. Each exhale, imagine your hips, imagine your tailbone sinking towards the floor. Even if it's not physically moving, just visualize that happening. What does that feel like? What does it feel like to connect with the earth? Last breath here. Inhale, raise your head, gaze comes towards your fingertips, slowly rise back up. Come to a seated position on your bottom and grab a block or two pillows support. Legs out long in front of you. Sit bones in contact with the earth. So you may need to move a little cushion out of the way. Toes, feet flex towards your face. Spine nice and long. Shoulders drop down. Shoulder blades together. Crown of your head reaching towards the sky. Sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, walk the hands forward for caterpillar. When you can no longer keep your spine straight, you meet some resistance, either tightness in the hamstrings or some anatomical blockage. Go ahead and let your head hang heavy and let your spine round. You can place a block or two on your legs for some support here for your forehead, or you can let your head hang heavy and let gravity pull the crown of your head towards the earth. Breathe into your back body here. The back side of your rib cage expanding as we're folded over here. Nice round spine. Notice what the breath feels like in that space. Notice how it feels to be in this posture. Any stress, any worry that keeps popping up during class, anything that you intended to set aside that is resurfacing, let it roll off your shoulders. Roll down your back into the earth. Last breath here. Remove the block and slowly walk your hands up, bringing your head up last. Pause at the top here and just notice what it feels like for that pose to leave your body. And moving into deer pose, bring your left shin parallel to the side of your mat, right shin parallel to the front of your mat. Sit bones in contact with the floor. Again, lengthening our spine nice and long. Lengthen on an inhale. Pull the navel into the spine just slightly. Walk the hands over to the left and out towards the back of your back. Come to your forearms. You can let your head hang heavy here. You can rest your head on your forearms if you'd like, or you can bring a block between your arms or some type of support and bring your head to that. Feeling this twist in our spine and opening in our hips. Breathe into the space. Last breath here. Slowly release the block. Walk the hands back, bringing the head up last. Coming back through center. Bring the legs out in front, windshield wiper back and forth, arms behind you, hands facing or fingers facing the back of the room. A little bit of support there. And just kind of release any of that tightness there. Bring your right shin parallel to the side of your mat now. Left shin parallel to the back of the mat. Spine nice and long, shoulders down, crown reaching. Inhale, lengthen the spine, navel into the spine just a little, not too much. Walk the hands around and then out towards the front of your mat, coming down to your forearms and using that block or support for your forehead if needed. Feel free to close your eyes here, fully supported. Even if your head is not resting on a block or on your forearms, your head is reaching towards the crown of your crown of your head is reaching towards the floor. You're still supported here. There's little risk of losing your balance. So if it feels good to you to close your eyes, feel free to do so. Last breath here. Release the block. Slowly walk the hands back, bringing your head up last. And then slowly unwind, pause in the middle. Maybe bring the feet out in front again and just shake them out or windshield wiper. And make your way to laying on your back. Feet hip distance apart. Windshield wiper the legs back and forth. Nice and slow. Notice how that feels in your hips. Try to keep your hips in contact with the floor, just isolating that movement to your upper legs. You can come back through center, press through the feet, lift the hips, shift them to the left. Let your knees fall to the right. Arms come out to a T, gaze comes over your left fingertips. Breathe here. This supine twist, we're fully supported. Massaging our organs with each breath. Imagine wringing out all the stress, all the toxins. Maybe you haven't been eating healthy, or you've just been really sedentary or stressed, or whatever it feels your body needs to let go of. Imagine that just being squeezed out like a sponge here. And close your eyes. And just notice. On your next inhale, slowly come back through center, unwinding. Shift the hips back through neutral. Pull your knees into your chest and just rock side to side here. Releasing some tension there in our lower back. Giving our sacrum a little love. And drop the feet. Press through the feet, lifting the hips. Now shifting them to the right, letting the knees fall to the left. Arms come out to a T. Gaze comes over your right fingertips. You can close your eyes here. Again, nowhere to go. Feeling the pose from the inside of your body out. On your next inhale, slowly unwind, coming back through center. Pull the knees into the chest again, rocking side to side. New little circles. And drop the feet. Bring the soles of the feet together and let your knees fall open. Feel free to use blocks here if you would like underneath your legs for support. Maybe a blanket or pillows, or maybe you just want to let your knees be pulled towards the earth by gravity. Whatever feels good to you. Hands can rest at your sides, on your ribs, inside of your legs. Palms facing up to receive energy. Palms facing down to ground. Bring your attention to your heart center here. Maybe make some tiny adjustments to bring your shoulder blades together underneath you, opening that heart center space. Breathing deeply through this chakra, focusing on love for ourselves, love for our practice, love for others, gratitude for this space. Maybe check in with your intention that you set at the beginning of practice. You can stay here or remove the blocks and come into your final Shavasana. Take up some space on your mat. Let your feet fall open. Hands at your sides, palms facing up or down. And begin to run through that scan of your body that we did at the beginning of class. Just noticing any differences, noticing how you feel here. Eyes closed, supported by the earth. Begin to let go. And just notice not only your physical body, but your emotional body as well. Your energetic body.
Begin to deepen your breathing. Bring some awareness back into your body. Feel the temperature of the air around you. Notice as it fills your lungs. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Making small movements with your wrists and ankles. And slowly making your way to a seated position, first rolling over onto your side. Pausing there for a moment before making your way all the way up. You can sit on your knees or in Sukhasana, whatever's comfortable for you. Inhale, circle, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands at heart center. Tuck your chin into your chest, just slightly bowing down. Finding a space of gratitude. Gratitude for this time that we shared together, for our bodies being able to move through the practice, for the ability to practice yoga. It's time to go within. Check back in with your intention one last time. Another deep inhale. Exhale, sigh it all out. Thank you so much for joining me today. Satnam.